Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of Frail Conversations. Today we're gonna talk about a subject that I don't think I've spoken on, as far as masculinity goes, as far as these frail conversations go, and that's integrity. I don't know why I've never spoken on integrity before, but integrity is important. Integrity is, in my opinion, one of the marks of a man. You feel me? Maintaining integrity, maintaining your integrity in all things that you do, pretty much solidifies and it codifies what you stand on as a man, or what you say you stand on as a man. You feel me? Everybody don't stand on integrity. And I think a lot of this came from, in recording the last episode, of the podcast, I remember speaking on somebody stealing this shit. And I don't know that out of all of the shit I said in that episode, that one stuck out. You feel what I'm saying? Because as a man, you want to maintain that integrity within yourself, whether people know that you're being integral or not. If integral and integrity go hand in hand, maybe it don't. It's still early. You feel me? But y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it kind of got me thinking like, yo, I never spoke on that before. And I feel like integrity would be perfect topic to flow into the week. Making sure that you are who you say you are. You feel me? You say what you mean and you mean what you say. You feel me? And then not only that, you have the capacity to stand on it because it's yours. You feel what I'm saying? Integrity goes a long way, and it takes us to different places as men. It really molds us, in my opinion, and it really determines, who we are when the lights are off, who we are when nobody's around. You know what I'm saying? Do you remain true to yourself? And do you remain true to what you stand on, or true to who you really say you are? In that dynamic. And nah, this ain't gonna be a whole podcast directed, at the thief, but it's gonna be on a grander scale of things, connected to a lot of the reality that plays into, a lot of shit that we, say as men. Cause like when we look at a lot of the templates and a lot of the standards of, the modern man, a lot of the faces that motherfuckers is putting out there, you feel what I'm saying? On paper, when you entertaining this shit, when you putting your face out there and you doing the entertaining for the people and you making them, stand like, do you have the integrity to stand on what you're saying? You feel me? One of the most recent examples, Derek Jackson and shit. Like, you feel what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Buddy did all of that shit and he wasn't what he was. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't maintain his own integrity. He didn't maintain his position as a person. And you know what I'm saying? You can only lie for so long. You feel what I'm saying? Before the truth has to come to reality and you have to stand on what you said. And you got to mean what you say and you got to say what you mean. And I feel like as men, integrity is like, that should be a default. That should be one of the things that we teach. We should, like, I always talk about respect should be defaulted, but I think the next step after that is that integrity is taught and maintained in all facets. You know what I'm saying? It can't be no do as I say, not as I do, and bullshit like that. Nah, integrity has to be shaped and molded successfully, healthily, and, you know what I mean, in a dynamic that, allows you to truly be yourself and stand on everything that you say you stand on. Because if you don't, then what? Like, you feel what I'm saying? You a joke. So, yeah. With that being said, before I dive heavy into it, be sure to follow me on Instagram at the Just Seen Podcast. Be sure to hit up my website at iamjustseen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all things, my bad, y'all. To all those who tip, sponsor, donate to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of your podcast. Not this episode, but the podcast itself. Cash App and PayPal are just fine. Yeah, so that's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive straight into Frail Conversations, integrity. Oh yeah, and don't forget to visit IamJustSeen.com. There, you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSeen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSeen.com. Anything and everything that is me you can find at IamJustSeen.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit IamJustSeen.com. All right. Welcome back. And like I said, this episode, it was prompted by something that I spoke on in my recent podcast, the Entrepreneur Goose podcast, about motherfuckers, stealing and shit. But overall is about, I feel like without the integrity of a man, without a man's integrity, you gotta, integrity leads to other things. You feel what I'm saying? Integrity leads to your essence as a person. Integrity leads to, your word. It leads to a lot of the structure in which you stand on. You feel me? If you stand on anything, because as the saying goes, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. And I feel like integrity somehow, some way, shape, or form is tied into that. If it's not, I'm gonna make it tied into that by the end of this episode. Y'all know how I do. But yeah, when it comes to that integrity piece, I don't, and it's, integrity isn't something that, it is something you can teach, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's still one of those things that you have it or you don't, and it can't be conditional. You feel me? You can't pick and choose when you want to maintain your integrity, you want to keep it in, because when it comes to the scope and the dynamic of what integrity stands on and what it represents, it 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 means whether for me, it's the determining factor of, whether or not you're going to be what you want to be or be who you say you are. You feel what I'm saying? Integrity helps you define and codify your platform. It helps you define and codify your standard and what your essence really is. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, integrity can always be compromised in any way, shape, or form, because everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. There's no ifs, ands, and maybes about that shit. Everybody has a price. The thing is, but when it comes to integrity, you can only take certain currencies. You're only willing to take certain currencies. And that's the separation and the delineating factor between those who maintain integrity and those who don't. And what I mean by you could only accept certain currencies for your price is that everybody can be bought, but it's like, who you gonna be bought by, what you gonna be bought by, and you know what I'm saying, can you stand on it? You feel what I mean? I want to say it was So Frail too that I wrote that in about everybody has a price, but then again, I could have just been making the caption. I don't remember. I write so fucking much. I don't know where I said it, but I'm pretty sure I said it in So Frail too. But everybody has a price. You feel me? But which currency are you willing to take? Are you willing to take only the currencies that support where you are? You feel what I'm saying? And and I'm seeing more people that are starting to develop, and it's one thing that I've noticed is that within the Black community, conscious community, religious community, whatever it is, the integrity diminishes the higher up you go. You feel me? The higher up you get. And it's not that, for me, I don't feel like it ever diminished. I just feel like it wasn't there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm watching how a lot of motherfuckers started off, 100% pro-Black. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I'm not fucking with Black people no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what was the purpose in that? You feel me? Were you bought off? Like, what the fuck? What happened? What happened to where you started off one way and now you suddenly decided to change? You feel what I'm saying? And can you like does that still give you credence as a person? Does that still give you value as a man? Does that still give you that the full capacity to maintain the fact that you can say you stand on what you stand on? Now I get it. Some people, they can play a game, they can play the role, and they're choosing to play a game, but I don't feel like everybody playing. I really don't feel like everybody playing when it comes to the integrity pieces because it's a little too deep. It's a little too real. Like when when it's easy to make justifications for why you switched up. You feel what I'm saying? Shit get crazy. Like when they like when it'd be a funny joke running, but sometimes it'd be real shit. Like some of the most pro blackish people and shit. Like they be in relationships with motherfuckers that ain't black. Like, and it's like, then they try to give the justification. Well, you feel me? You can still be pro black and date non-black. How? When I hear shit like that, when I see shit like that, when I even see the question, like, why does that, like, how does that even equate? How you gonna be pro-black and date out? No, you can't. You can't. You can't. It's not possible. It makes no sense. It's counter. It's a facade. It's a facade. Because if we're gonna look at it like this, right? This is gonna be a bit extreme, but this is how I gotta tie it into it and make it make sense for me. You feel what I'm saying? If a Caucasian out of the Aryan nation decides, okay, look, I want to marry a black woman or whatever the case may be, like that motherfucker, they gonna snipe that motherfucker. They're like, nah, bro, you can't be pro-white, you can't be Aryan and be with a black person. The fuck wrong with you, bro? Like you can't do no shit like that. But yet somehow as black people we can. That shit don't make sense, and I feel like that's tied to your integrity. You feel me? I feel like that's tied to your integrity. You feel what I'm saying? It don't make sense to me. Like there's no way in hell you can in one breath say, I'm pro black, and then everything you do out like you start off one way, then you change. Like nah, that's not pro black, bro. That's pro self. That's pro self. I ain't you know what? It's not even pro self in a sense. It's pro black that I am. That's we coining that shit today. Motherfuckers ain't pro black, they pro black that they are. And if you're not in alignment with their blackness, then you're not the black that they're looking for. And their integrity goes out of the window when it doesn't pertain to that. You feel what I mean? And what I mean by that is that I'm like when I look at how, black people, whatever niche that we boxed in, if you don't fuck with that, you're not black. Like you feel what I'm saying? I mean, I seen it growing up. I even exhibited myself, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers who, was the nerd kids and shit like that, with the emos with the bracelets and the shit. I'm like, that nigga ain't black for real. Like, motherfucker, he white dude trapped in a black man's body and shit. But then as I got older, I'm like, yo, we can't limit what blackness is. And I think like when we try to box it in and say, okay, this is black for real, like you real black, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like people get shunned on that shit too. Like, oh, you the pro black, you the woke, you this, that, and the third, you the hotep type shit. All right, cool. Why does it always have to be some kind of codification? And it's like I am pro black that I am. That's a bar, yo. I'm gonna start saying that shit for real. You pro black that you are. You feel me? And I'm watching it because as I see it play out, you can't be for everybody. You're not willing to be for everybody. You're only willing to be with those that support the blackness that you are, or that fuck with the blackness that you are. And when those people stop fucking with the blackness that you are, or when the blackness that you are changes, you can't fuck with them no more. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like we got to be well-rounded in the sense that if we really going to be about black people, we need to be about all black. And it's no different than, the brotherhoods and the sisterhoods and shit where you got to fuck with what I fuck with to be counted as that. You dig what I mean? If you're not on, like, I know black men, who they got issues with black women. You feel me? I can't knock them. I'm not here to go against your experience. I'm not here to say, you know, you ain't been fucked over. You feel what I'm saying? I can't say that shit. I've been fucked over by a black woman before. You feel what I'm saying? A couple. But at the end of the day, those black women I can't fuck with. Like those individual people I can't fuck with no more. I can't fuck with a whole gender. I can't stop fucking with a whole gender because these 3 or 4 women that, you know what I'm saying, were assholes. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, what does that do? And on the same side of that, like, I got brothers who are, you know, bro, you got to understand my point. I understand your point. I don't have to accept your point. You feel me? Shameless plug. Sofa 3 is coming. I got a section in Sofa 3 where I'm talking about acceptance and rejection. Where I'm talking about the 4 levels of the mind. So at the level of understanding, you have the option. Like when you reach understanding of something, you either gonna accept or reject it. There's not, you know, because like the first level of the mind is belief. Either you're gonna have faith in something or you're gonna fear it, one or two. But when you ascend to the level 4, which is acceptance of the mind, the acceptance level or the understanding level, you reach acceptance and you can either accept or reject something, right? So they be like, yo, bro, you don't understand. I do understand. I understand exactly what you feeling, bro. I just don't accept that notion. I reject that notion that I need to be on my P's and Q's all the time for certain black women. I just don't fuck with those types of women, bro. Like it makes me no difference, you know. And I was just talking to my homegirl the other day. We was talking about you know, interracial relationships and shit. And it's on some shit where most of the time when black men date outside of the race and shit, it's never because they actually like the women. See, we don't understand how deep misogyny goes. Like niggas we really don't like women. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But low key, and I be trying to say it, motherfuckers be thinking I'm being a dickhead and shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are just homosexuals who like vagina. You feel me? Low key, that's why it's so easy to say trans women are women. That's a whole different dynamic in its own. But again, um, we low key be homosexuals that just like vagina. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like we'll go and get with other women that aren't black and will say shit like you ask them, yo, why you with that woman? Cause man, black women always doing this. Everything you're doing is in spite of the black woman. Where's your integrity at? You feel me? Where's your integrity at? You feel me? And conversing with those brothers and shit, trying to make me understand their point. I'm like, yo, you know, I understand your point. I just don't fuck with it. But nah, bro, you act like you ain't never. I don't act like that, my nigga. Like I don't act like a black woman ain't never done me wrong. I don't act like I don't have, you know, bad experiences with black women, but I also have good ones. And then as soon as I tell them and shit, like, yo, you know, that means that you ain't got no good experience. And now my aunties and shit, like, all right, cool. How come that's not like you're so focused on the trauma that you can't focus on the euphoria? You dig what I mean? And when those lines blur, when you have differences between trauma and euphoria and shit, your integrity can be compromised. It will, because whatever you bonded to is what's going to predicate whether or not you can stand on what you say. You feel what I mean? And like I was saying, I don't want it to just seem, you know, personal attack and shit, because this is so for conversations for the brothers and shit. But sisters had that shit too with the sisterhoods that they in. You feel what I'm saying? They only fuck with the sisters that are in line with them. You feel what I'm saying? And so when we look at our pro-blackness as men, you feel me? As people, it's like, yo, you got to be pro-black like me to be the pro-black. You feel me? Everybody ain't militant, bro. Everybody ain't warriors. You feel me? And that integrity is going to kick in when it's time to be. You feel me? We get monikered as men. Okay, you got to be a protector and a provider. At some point, you got to take a step back and realize motherfuckers ain't built for war. You feel me? That's one of the things that I'm learning, and I'm observing that, you know, women are complaining out of us, you know, be the protector and the provider. Like, this motherfucker ain't ready for war. I got into it one time on social media with this woman about, yo, why men don't protect women. I said they scared to get beat up. They scared of a fight. That's not an excuse. I didn't say it was an excuse. You asked the question, I gave the answer, because that's what it is. I don't think we look at the fact that it's a defaulted thing that, okay, as a protector and a provider, as a man, you're supposed to be to fight, jump, gung ho, all of that shit. Like, you feel what I'm saying? This is a tangent, but nah, everybody ain't a fighter, bro. Everybody ain't a fighter, but every woman wants to be with a fighter. What does that do to a man who's not the fighter? This is an integrity point from a different perspective. Like, how do you stand on yourself? You feel me? How do you stand? How do you stand on that? And then you trying to be that. Oh, I'm gonna be a protector and provider. Your integrity is gonna kick in when you know you can't fight. When you know you're not a fighter. You feel me? And so when the crunch time hits, you don't pop off. When crunch time hits, she can't count on you and shit. Whose fault is that? It's both y'all fault, to be honest. But it's the fact that you carried on a facade that you didn't have. You feel me? And then tying it into the integrity and interracial relationships, low key. That's why a lot of black men, I've learned and observed. That's why a lot of us, we step out, because most women outside of black women don't hold us to the standard of having to protect them. They don't. They don't. Like, you feel what I'm saying? The sole fact that we black in their presence gives us, you feel me, that little, oh, he's a black man. Don't nobody like when, and I don't like, as a black man, if I'm in an interracial relationship, I don't necessarily have to be that black man. And here's what I mean by that. The sole fact that I'm black, I'm already a threat. So when I come around them and their spaces, they already fear me. They already look at me as a certain way. That's not the case when I'm home. Cause we the same. It's like, man, he used to get smacked the fuck around, like, in the hood. Like, nigga, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen posts and shit or memes about, the dude that, he talk hard, but when he get around his homies, he the little nigga. Like, they be sunning them. It's like, yo, how you so hard, but they be sunning you? It's similar situations like that. This is why, like, a lot of men can flex on women. They can't do that shit against men, because it's like, you feel me? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the shit pop off? What you gonna do when the shit really hits the fan? You feel me? You really ain't gonna do shit. You feel me? So they move into those spaces of dealing with the people who don't require them to have to operate from that space. You feel me? And look, there's no shot. If you ain't a fighter, you're not a fighter. There's like, the warrior spirit is not in everybody. You feel me? The warrior spirit is definitely not in everybody. But you feel me? Don't carry it. Don't carry yourself like you got it. Cause then when shit hit the fan, niggas gonna hold you to that. Niggas gonna hold you to that. You feel me? Whether you can scrap or not, whether you willing to go the distance or not, that's irrelevant. But you feel what I'm saying? That's the reality. And so I was saying that to say, like, it's easier to, and it goes back into the part about prices. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. It's just, what currency are you willing to take? If I know that I gotta be a protector and provider, but I only have to be a protector and a provider just by standing there, looking big and looking tough because I'm black, motherfuckers are gonna be scared of me. I'm gonna go where I don't have to really raise a finger. But then when I'm in a space where some shit pop off, I gotta show and prove, my integrity will be compromised. My integrity will really be compromised. And then what am I gonna do? You feel what I'm saying? Like, growing up, man, I always been a slim dude. And so because I always been a slim dude, I always had they think short people got a Napoleon complex, since skinny people got a complex too. I ain't gonna hold you. We got a complex too. Even if I gain weight or whatever the case may be, I'm always gonna have this complex, because I be low key, I be feeling like niggas we want to try me, yo, just because I'm small. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So, one thing that, my older brother always put me on. So he was like, yo, I don't give a fuck. He said, you may be small. Cause me and him, we ain't stocky dudes. You feel what I'm saying? We're both rather slim. He put on some weight, because he put on that father weight. It's like that motherfucker done put on that father weight. But even still, I don't even think he broke 200 pounds yet. You feel me? But he put on his father weight and shit. But he was always like, yo, bro, don't worry about motherfucking muscles and slamming and shit. I mean, yeah, be strong, but if you can't gain it, you can't gain it. Just know how to fight well. Keep practicing, keep your hands up and shit, because whatever it was. So, you feel me? I had that skinny man's complex. I used to fight big motherfuckers all the time because I wanted, I had to make sure I was, I was what I was. You feel me? And for that dynamic and that perspective, it's like I was in that position to always know that if some shit happens, it's gonna happen, no matter where it's gonna be. You feel me? And so in the moments when it's like, okay, yeah, be a protector and a provider and shit like that. Or I ain't gonna say provider. I'm just leave it to protector. Like my integrity doesn't have to be compromised in that because of the position that I was always in. You feel me? Feeling like motherfuckers is gonna try me. I can't run. You feel me? I can't run. Like so what do? I fight. You feel me? Win, lose, or draw, I gotta take that. But everybody ain't like that. And all black men ain't like that. You feel me? And it caters into a stigma too. Like this is a tangent. It's gonna make sense somehow, but I'm gonna bring it back. But it goes into another tangent to another stereotype. Like we also support the very stereotypes that we hate. You feel what I mean? Like we don't want to be viewed as violent black men all the time, but yet we always want to have that bravado. We like the stereotype when it's convenient to us, but when the reality comes in, it's no longer that stereotype anymore. Put your hands up and shit like that. Like certain shit just made me wonder, like, what would you really do? Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, now I'm segueing into the fact that integrity could be also like pride in a sense, because maintaining your integrity can sometimes be prideful. You feel me? And I'm using that in the sense of I've never been in a situation, so I don't know what I'm going to do if the situation happens. But one of the scary parts about the reality for myself is the way I envision the situation is that the way I envision the situation within, I have yet to experience a situation where I didn't handle it the way I envisioned it, or I didn't handle it the way I thought I was supposed to handle it. And that's scary because I always feel like if I run into opposition like the police or something like that, I'm not like I'm likely to die in that shit because it's like I already envision, I already know what the fuck is gonna happen. So this is what it is. And so the integrity that I stand on, if I'm gonna stand on the integrity of fuck 12, nigga, like feel me? Because for me, I don't see them as police. I don't see them as authority figures. I see them as threats. I see them as men. I see them as men like me. They bleed just like me. They just have a little bit more. And again, like I said, that's floating between the fine line of integrity and pride. You feel me? That's a fine line between integrity and pride. So what would I do if that situation happened? I can't compromise my integrity if I say that's what I'm going to stand on, but am I being prideful? You feel me? Am I being prideful? And is that pride going to lead to my destruction? You feel me? I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? But those are certain things and dynamics that we don't consider, that we don't really look at. I'm going back to the thing on the grander scale, because integrity, this is how your integrity can be bought. This is how because at what point does it cross the line between pride? Because they always teach you pride comes before destruction. Pride comes before the fall. And integrity and pride are kind of very, very similar things. You feel me? They're very, very similar things. We can't in one breath want a motherfucker to not let pride consume them, but then make sure that a motherfucker maintains their integrity at all times. You're not gonna get both. You're not gonna get both. So which one do you want? You feel what I mean? If you want the integrity, you feel me? You gonna have to deal with a prideful motherfucker. If you want the motherfucker to not have pride and shit, and you want the motherfucker to not let the pride destroy them, they gonna compromise their integrity when the shit hits the fan. You feel what I mean? That's why I told that story about, you know what I'm saying? Like you feel me? This is one of the reasons, like when I talk about, growing up and shit, and I never joined a gang. You feel what I'm saying? I was, affiliated, never initiated, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody in my circle was cripping, you know what I'm saying, in some way, shape, or form. Is, it was what it was. And I never joined the gang. Well, I started a gang. Me and my homies, we just started rocking gray flags and shit. And you feel me? Like we jumped each other in and everything like that. And we was really down. We really initiated each other in that shit. And when I went to school, I was rocking my flag and shit. And I had motherfuckers like, this is one of the reasons this is when I first learned my influence was as powerful as it was, because it's just me and my two homies and two girls that are We was aces. You feel me? That's what we called it. You know, we rocked like gray bandanas and shit like that, and we banged it off the left side. And all of this was my idea because, like I said, I was Crip affiliated, so I was more so, associated with them, and so bang it off the left side, nigga. Fuck the right. You feel me? No disrespect to my blood homies and shit like that. Like I'm not a gangbanger. I'm out of that mentality and shit like that. So it's all love. But I'm speaking at the time that I was in. You feel what I'm saying? So it was more so and that right there is a perfect example. I'm gonna segue back. The fact that I just said, shout out to the blood homies and shit like that, and it's like I'm not in that no more. That is a fine line between pride and integrity. I literally just had to compromise the integrity of what I stood on when I was a kid on being Crip affiliated. You know what I'm saying? Or I could have just continued with that shit and been prideful and said it's still what it is. You feel what I'm saying? You see how that little moment is such a fine line between the bigger reality of how things go. But let me bring it back. So, you know what I'm saying? It was like in that I started that gang or whatever. And when I went to school with it out, like I didn't care. Like it was just me. It was literally only 3 motherfuckers in the gang. But I walked like it was 3,000. You feel me? I went to school and I ran into one of my blood homies and shit. He was a blood and shit. And he was like, yo, what you repping? And I told him, I was like, yo, I'm repping Aces, bro. And he was like, yo, that's real? Yeah, it's real, nigga. The fuck? And this is when I realized my influence was what it was, and I needed to change my dynamic because he was like, yo, bro, if you down, let's make that official. He said, yo, I'll rep it with you. My man's was really willing to put his blood flag down to rep my flag. Now, here's why I said this is what the main purpose of the story was. And this is why I never gangbanged, because I would have killed somebody for real. I would have really been in the streets doing stupid shit because I have integrity and I also have pride. And there's a fine line between the two. And so the integrity that I have makes me stand. I got a gangbang for real. Like when I was 4 months old, my mom moved us to California. You feel what I mean? I grew up in California for the first 9 years of my life. So my experience with gangs and understanding gangs is you got a gangbang for real. I got a cousin who was a Crip who was killed. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a real Crip. Like when I say Crip, I mean Crip, big Crip. Like he was a fucking Crip. And it's like, I remember I was like 5 years old. I used to ask him, I'm like, yo, why you always wear blue? And he was like, it's a C thing. I said, what? The fuck is a C thing? You feel what I'm saying? What the fuck is a C thing? And I just thought that that's what everybody was who was that age. So I went to a school where our uniforms are blue and white. Everything's Crip. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. So, he was my cousin, whatever, but, rest his soul, he was killed. But like, because of that, that's family. So my allegiance already is off family. And so as I grew up, again, I was around more motherfucking Crips. You feel me? And in the area that I was in, I was around more Crips and folks and shit, of the folk nation. And in my area, the Crips and the folks, they called themselves cousins. They were, you know what I'm saying, affiliated with each other is more so. So everybody around me was Crip and a folking. You feel me? So I was like, nigga, it's just a matter of time for I fall in this light. But I told myself I wouldn't do it because while everybody else was on some, I just want to wear the colors and shit. Nah, nigga, I'd really shoot a motherfucker, yo. I'd really kill a nigga for this shit. You feel me? So the only way that I can keep from compromising my integrity is not to affiliate with it or, you know what I'm saying, initiate with it. I affiliate, you feel me? I'll be in that space of wherever I'm at. But for the most part, I can't get down with it. I can't get down with it because for me, it's not just about knuckling up. It's about, yo, bro, you disrespect me, I gotta leave you flat. I'm gonna leave you where you at. I don't give a fuck. And at that time, I was so young, but at that time, I ain't give a fuck about shit. You feel me? Back against the wall. I'm growing up where I'm growing up. I ain't fuck that. You feel me? But the purpose of me telling that story is because I would have had to maintain my integrity. I would have had to maintain my integrity and stand on what I believed in and stand on what I said I was going to stand on. Win, lose, or draw, no matter the people that it would have hurt, no matter who it was going to affect at the end of the day, I would have had to stand on that because that's integrity. And the thing about integrity is It has no bias. Integrity has no, it doesn't matter. Integrity doesn't give a fuck who you are or what you do or what your platform is. Integrity is integrity. It is or it ain't. Either you got it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter the circumstance. It doesn't matter if, oh, well, this is a good situation. This is a bad situation. Nah, I got integrity. I got to have universal integrity, unbiased, no matter what the fuck I'm affiliated with. You feel me? Now I'm going to take it to more when I was an adult, when I was in corporate America. You feel me? I was working as an account manager and shit. And you feel me? Motherfuckers get unruly and disrespectful. And I couldn't do shit. I couldn't do shit. Like that customer service bullshit about the customer's always right. They not. You feel me? But the customer be forgetting that you a human too. So they say whatever the fuck they want to say to you, and you can't say and do shit back. They can get frustrated. They can they can yell and shit like that because they know that they're protected by the fact that you have a job and occupation. You feel what I'm saying? I unplugged from that shit. Low key, that's one of the reasons why I don't work for corporate America no more. Because now I want a motherfucker to say something stupid. Bitch, I got bail money. And I don't have to worry about losing a job. I don't have to worry about losing shit. You feel me? Do something stupid now. Like you wouldn't do this shit. Like it would be times where I was working in the call center. I literally had to leave out of the I had to take a break because this nigga called me because he fucked up his phone bill. You feel me? White dude fucked up his phone bill and shit. Like, you need to fix this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, I need you to calm down. Like, and it's like, my thing, I will always be like, I would notice that in the heat of the anger, I would always leave and have to walk out and be like, yo, they wouldn't do this shit to me if they was in my face, bro. Like, and that's one of the things that get me because it's like integrity and pride. Like I said, it's the fine line between the two. Do I keep my integrity? Do I keep my integrity and let you not disrespect me? Or do I swallow my pride because it's like, it's not worth it? It is worth it. It was worth it for the motherfucker to do some stupid shit to me. It was worth it for the motherfucker to come off sideways. Why the fuck is it worth it for you to punch him in their motherfucking mouth? That's still integrity. That's still integrity. So we look at how integrity plays out. Integrity is a grand scale. It's a grand thing. You feel what I'm saying? So now it goes back into what I'm saying. Everybody has a price they can get bought. When I worked in corporate America, that was my price. That was the price of my integrity. I can't lie about it. I remember working one time. Now, granted, I like this one. This was my fault. I couldn't even get mad at dude. I didn't even want to snap because I fucked up on that one. I was parking the car and I was trying to finesse dude out of $20 and shit. So he's like, yo, can I park here? I'm only gonna be, yeah, $20. I put his key in another car, right? That car left. They didn't leave, like they were still checked into the hotel, but they motherfucking went on to go get something to eat. So I said, shit. I said, bro, your key gone. He started spazzing. He flipping all in the hotel and shit, blah, 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 going crazy. And I'm like, dude, I need you to calm down so I can work with you. Dude, I need you to calm down so I can work with you. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And all I could think is, if I wasn't at work, you would not be this loud. If I wasn't in the uniform, you would not be this motherfucking loud. Tone it down, please. And everybody was like, after I showed my manager skills. I wasn't even a manager then. I got him a rental car, blah, 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 before my manager even came in because they had to call him and shit. Got him a rental, got his key back, blah, blah, blah. You feel me? But afterwards and shit and everything died down, like the general manager, the general manager of the hotel, all of the managers at the front desk and shit, my manager, they came and got me and shit and started talking to me. It was like, I said, oh shit, these niggas about to fire me for losing the key. But they rewarded me and they praised me because it was like, you maintained that very well. They said he got hostile and you still kept diffusing the situation. You handled it, you expedited it, and everything went smoothly. You know, there was like, despite the fact that he was in the center of the hotel going crazy, you calmed him down and you handled the situation well. They gave me and I was like, I compromised my integrity, though. I was supposed to smack the shit out of that motherfucker for talking stupid. But I fucked up. That was my fuck up. So I had to own it still at the end of the day. You feel what I mean? But in that, the praise that I received from them for compromising my integrity was something different. You see this shit happen all the time when it comes to us as black men. You feel me? When we go up to a certain level, we get rewarded for compromising our integrity. You feel what I mean? We get rewarded for compromising our integrity, and motherfuckers justify the shit. You know, you're making a wise decision. You got to realize you can't be held back, and that's true. You can't be. But what you stand on, you stand on. If you're going to stand for your people, you need to stand for your people all the way. You feel what I mean? If your platform or whatever it is going to be about women and shit like that, let it be about the women. If it's going to be about whatever it's going to be about that shit, and stand on your shit. Stand on your shit. You feel what I'm saying? We losing our integrity because a lot of us never had it. You feel me? A lot of us never had it. We just waited on the opportunity. See, a lot of people don't really get that. They think a lot of people have integrity. Some people just haven't got the right opportunity yet. And they're waiting for that opportunity. So what you think is integrity really ain't integrity. It's just patience. It's just patience for an opportunity. So when that moment comes, it's like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. Hey, huddle up, broskies, because it's time to elevate. The secret to evolving masculinity is to define it, understand it, then apply it. The So Frail series defines masculinity as the spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of the essence of analysis and deconstruction. From this definition, I explain how masculinity is not just the hat that we wear, but it's the essence that we must exude through application. If you enjoy the So Frail conversations, why not read the books that inspire them? Visit IamJustSeen.com right now to add the So Frail series to your library to get a better understanding of what masculinity really is. I promise, after reading So Frail, you will never look at masculinity the same again. Fuck y'all niggas, I'm out of here. It's like, you feel what I mean? And a lot of people can't wait till that moment comes. Because when that price hits, yeah, you feel me? That's why one of the things that I like to stand on and I like to mention is that everybody has a price, but it's like, what currency are you willing to accept? I'll sell out to my people. You feel me? If I got to sell out, it's only to my people. Only my people can buy me out. If my people collectively say stop doing my people, now understand, I'm not talking about black people who are affiliated with other shit. I'm talking about if you black first, those are the only beings that can buy me out. If they say, look, bro, we don't like this, I might say fuck you first, but you feel me? Yo, if y'all put the right price on the shit that you want me to stop, I'll stop it for my people. You feel what I'm saying? And not for anybody else. And one of the things that we get wrapped up in is the fact that a lot of people, they black second. If you black second, your integrity is already compromised, my nigga. I don't give a fuck what clique you in. I don't give a fuck what alphabet you subscribe to. I don't care about none of that shit. If you black second, you feel me? And those are some of the most dangerous people who are black second but act like they black first. Because it's hard to tell who's who with that. You feel me? And when you black second, that's when you come into the reality of you're black like I am. If you're black like I am, I'll fuck with you. You feel me? Because that's when you black second. It's not when you black first. You feel what I'm saying? So when you black second, then you want to get into, I don't like this and I don't fuck with, like, you know what I'm saying? One thing, if you follow, you've been listening to the podcast for a minute, even before the podcast was the podcast when I had the YouTube channel. I always said, the revolution is going to start and end in the hood. If you leaving the hood out, you ain't black. What Biden say, if you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. If you leaving the hood out of whatever movement that you trying to do, you ain't black. I'm sorry, you ain't black. And I catch flack a lot of times because motherfuckers be like, yo, why you speak the way I speak as the hood. Let me say that. I'm never gonna get to a point where I'm saying I speak for anybody. I speak as in I'm a representative of something. You feel what I'm saying? I speak as the hood. That's who I'm fucking with. Like, that's why my shit is profundity. Like, that's why my platform is what it is, because like, I gotta speak as the hood. A lot of motherfuckers want to speak as academia. A lot of motherfuckers want to speak as entertainers and shit like that. But it's like, we can in one breath be like, you know what I'm saying? People in the hood need to get, like, the hood is what's marketed to. Everybody know where the hood. Everybody know that the revolution starts and ends in the hood. Everybody but us. We think the revolution starts when we get out the hood. No, that's why the Chinese are in the hood. That's why the Arabs in the hood. That's why white people are in the hood. They know where the revolution is and they don't want the revolution to happen. But what we do, we try so hard to dissociate from the shit. We try so hard to dissociate from the shit. It's like, yo, y'all elevate, y'all put on your suits and ties and shit like that. Like in the city that I'm in right now, motherfucking, they just had a quote unquote Million Man March type shit where all of the black men put on suits and shit and started walking down the street in the summertime and shit. It's like, niggas hot as fuck. Y'all got on 3-piece suits just to walk because we want to give the image and we want to give the perception that, like, what perception are you giving? You failed. You failed. Because for you to get out of the hood, for a motherfucker, for you to reach a motherfucker in the hood, you got to be in the hood. You got to meet them as they met themselves. They didn't meet themselves in a suit and tie. They didn't meet themselves in that aspect. They meet themselves scratching, trying to find the next meal, or they meet themselves trying to survive out of the situation that they in. You feel what I'm saying? Dealing with a crazy baby mama or some other shit like that. Like, that's where you got to meet them at. You can't shun them or shame them for that shit. You can't shame somebody out of their circumstance. You got to teach them how to elevate themselves out of it. But you got to show them that the circumstance is doable. You feel me? So everything that I do is in light of that. I want the hood. I got, like, that's where I came from. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point, does that change? Because that's another thing where it's like, you black second. You feel what I'm saying? You're black second. When there's a stipulation to how you're going to be black, when there's a stipulation to who you can affiliate with black, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, then what? You black second. And you just carrying yourself like you black first. Because the moment the shit hits the fan, your integrity will be compromised. You feel me? And you'll justify it as like, nah, that's pride. Like you got to expand. Like, yo, I reached the point where I could put myself in a position to where it's like, I don't need to depend on anybody that's not black. I don't need to depend on anybody, but at the same time, I don't have to affiliate with shit. Like, for me to be successful to certain things, you feel what I'm saying? I don't need to, you know what I mean, deal with the motherfuckers who ain't on my type time. But that's my personal integrity, and it's not pride. That's integrity. I was talking to somebody who was like, they were like, yo, would you do something, whatever it was like a deal with, you know what I'm saying? What if I said, nah, I couldn't do it. Oh, that's pride. That's not pride. That's integrity, my nigga. The sole fact that you telling me that it's pride shows me you'll compromise your integrity if the opportunity presented itself. And I get it. Like I said, there's a fine line between the two, because pride comes before destruction. Integrity and pride are very, very similar. You feel what I mean? They're very, very similar in regards to the fact of what they look like on the surface. But if you're willing to if like I said, if you're willing to swallow your pride, you'll compromise your integrity. That's just how I look at it, bro. That's just how I look at it. And I've never been able to walk away, and I've never been able to feel comfortable being on that side of the double-edged sword. Like, pride is one thing, and it's like, you feel me? What are you gonna do when your integrity is compromised? Like, you can't get that shit back. You can't get that shit back out of pride, because it's like, yo, you feel me? Like, when I grew up, like, motherfuckers was on some Lord, like, and that's one of the things that get me too. Like, betrayal. When you can betray a motherfucker, you lack integrity. You lack integrity like a motherfucker, yo. Now, I get it. When let me say it like this. If you intentionally betray a motherfucker, you lack integrity. You dig what I mean? My brother's out here, like, you know what I'm saying? You got a woman that's, down, like, you ain't a stand-up nigga, bro. Like, and that's what be getting me, yo. Motherfucker be like, I'm a real nigga, I'm a stand-up nigga. You ain't got no integrity, bro. You ain't got no integrity. You can't even tell shorty that you fucking with her. She don't want to fuck with her no more. You don't want to fuck with her no more. You can't even, like, what you would rather do is like, yo, I used to do the shit when I was a kid. You feel me? When I didn't want to talk to a woman no more. And it's like, yo, because the first time I ever actually broke up with a girl, it was in 8th grade. You feel me? Like, I actually broke up for the first time. Was it 8th grade? Nah, I had several breakups, but like, this is the one that I vividly remember, because in it, I was going to the high school and she would have still been in middle school. So I told her, look, we need to go our separate ways because when I go to high school, it's gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, you feel me? I don't wanna do you wrong. She cries and everything, and then it's like everybody was like, yo, should have just stayed with her, bro. I said, nah, because then if I would have cheated on it, then everybody would have been looking at me like I was crazy. Like, what would that have done for me? You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I maintain my integrity in the fact that I wasn't gonna do it wrong. And I know I tell stories about being a fuckboy, but let me tell you about my fuckboy stories. I still had integrity with them. I was never their boyfriends. Not only was I never their boyfriends, I told them. Like, we knew what was up. Like, it wasn't a lead on thing, like we're talking to build up. It's like, nah, we going, you feel me? Even in that situation where Shorty chased me in the hallway, there was, like, my integrity was maintained in that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Solely because I told her, look, you used to talk to my homeboy, I used to talk to you, and she was cool with it. Well, y'all share girls, and I already taught my sister, she said it was cool. All right, nigga. You gonna get what it's gonna get. I'm not crossing the line and being with you. I told you that. Like, I told you that. Okay, you gonna call me over? Yes, I'm gonna go. Like, you, the fuck. But I'm gonna still let you know that this ain't what it is. Now, as a more mature man and shit, I'm not gonna do that shit. If I know now that, like, if a woman's really fucking with me and I'm telling her, like, we and she's still throwing it, I ain't gonna take it. I don't take it anymore. You feel me? I'm like, nah, lady, like, nah, this ain't what it is. I don't try to put that flirting onto it. I don't, if I know I really don't want you. You feel what I'm saying? Because I gotta maintain that shit. And I be trying to find ways to, do the subtle curve sometime, but it's like, it is what it is. But that comes from the levels of integrity. Tying it back to the whole theme of this episode, I know it jumped around multiple times, but it's still centered around integrity. Like, either you got it or you don't, and you're gonna stand on it at all times. Win, lose, or draw. That's the scary part about it. Because can you maintain your integrity if your life is in danger? No, because, nigga, that's pride. No. Is it pride? Like I said, is it pride or is it integrity? Semantics, bro. Like, at what point do you define the line of what your integrity really is? You feel what I'm saying? I don't wish this on myself, and I'm not speaking on myself. Don't get me wrong. This is not me trying to bring this energy to me, because I'm not bringing this energy to me. But if the situation came and it was like, yo, my life or somebody else's, it's their life. The first rule of nature is self-preservation. We're going to see who's going to preserve themselves first. I can't put my hands up. I can't utter the words, I can't breathe. I can't do that because I can breathe. Like, I can't do that. I can't, like, that's not, and that's one of the crazy things about it, because they're like, yo, go protest. For fucking what? I'm not protesting shit. I have no reason to protest. Well, you're not supporting, no. I'm not supporting that type of person. I'm not supporting that black, because I'm not black second, I'm black first. And by black first, I still have to preserve myself. I can't be following anything that's telling me not to preserve myself. The fuck kind of shit is that? Where's the integrity in that? Where's the integrity in knowing that you at war with everybody and you want to kumbaya this shit? Ain't no integrity in that shit. I can't fuck with that shit. I have no desire to go and, you know what I mean, do the passive shit. It don't work for me, bro. More power to you if that's what you want to do. You feel me? I'm not uttering the words I can't breathe. I'm not putting my hands up and not shooting. No, I can't co-sign that. Those are things I can't co-sign. You dig what I'm saying? Because they're men. They're humans just like me. I have no desire to elevate them to a position that I can't. It's almost like, I always tell people, especially religious people, because they always say the same shit to me. The same fucking shit. You feel me? Especially the pro-black religious people. They always say the white man is the devil. So I asked them, are you God? Are you the God? Nah, that's blasphemy. I'm just like, see, this is my thing. I can't elevate my enemy to a supernatural state, and I want to stay in the natural space. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I can't do that shit, bro. Sis, all y'all, I can't do that shit. But that's what we doing. The white man is the devil. God ain't even beat the devil yet. God can't beat the devil. God needs the devil to keep his story going. You feel what I'm saying? So you gonna call the white man the devil. And the devil is the trickster. The devil is who you're going to stay away from. The devil is who you see God struggling to fight. And you still think you're a human. You feel me? I would never elevate an enemy to a position I would not elevate myself to. That's stupid as fuck. You feel what I'm saying? But alas, that's what the fuck we be doing. Where's the integrity in that shit? Love the neighbor who's kicking you in your fucking mouth. Turn the other cheek and let him slap you again. Fuck no. There's no self-preservation in that. There's no self-preservation in that. And to call the white man the devil, evil, all of these things, he's this, that, and the third, and you not calling yourself its antithesis, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not maintaining your integrity within yourself. You dig what I'm saying? So I was saying that because like a lot of my religious people, no matter the religion, the white man is the devil. Are you God? No. So you beefing with the devil and you serve a God. So you just a human in some shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. So white people ain't even human no more. White people are, anybody that we in opposition to, they're not even human anymore. They're elevated to a standard that we can't even comprehend. We giving them supernatural powers on our unconscious mind, on our unconscious level by calling them devils and not calling ourselves gods or Allahs or Jehovah's or Krishnas, Buddhists, whatever. We're followers of the deity. And we're followers of a deity, and we're giving our enemies the level of deification. We're deifying them. The devil is a deity. The devil is a god. There's no way, you feel me? This is the only reason why he has the capacity to fight God, because he is a god. You dig what I mean? He's his son. He's an archangel or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it. But he's up there. You feel me? We put white people up there too. We put white people up there on that level. Where's the integrity in that shit? I'm not singing kumbaya to this shit. You feel me? Because at that point, you're begging to him. And begging is a form of prayer. Think about your position you fall in when you actually pray. You get on your knees, you put your hands together, you start asking God for shit. What you think you're doing when you're taking a knee on a football field? What you think you're doing when you're putting your hands up and not shooting? What you think you're doing in the street screaming Black Lives Matter? What you think you're doing in the street screaming I can't breathe? You're pleading to the devil to stop something. You're praying to him. You're begging the devil to stop. Why are you begging the devil to stop? And you're calling the white man the devil. Where's your integrity in that shit? You feel me? We got to return hate. We got to meet hate with love. No, you meet hate with hate. It stops. You can't fight hate with love. That's stupid. Who the fuck says that shit? Niggas willing to compromise their integrity. You feel what I'm saying? Every black person that I've seen that's supposed to be the faces of the shit, they the faces of the movement, they trying to, like, I've never seen white people come out and direct them shit to white people to say, hey, let's just, extend the hand of love. It's like, nah, enact justice. Lock the motherfucker up. You feel me? When Dylan Roof caught them black people in the church, that was some of the most saddest, hypocritical, ironic shit ever. Y'all niggas was praying in the church and he sprayed the bitch up. Think about this shit. Now we're going to tie it back into calling white people devils. You feel me? The devil came in the church and shot the bitch up and nothing happened. Niggas was praying. We praying with the A, they praying with the E. We praying with the A, they praying with the E. We wade in the water but won't play with the heat. It's made this way. But again, it's the integrity. I know, I made that shit fit. It's tied to the integrity of it all. A lot of us have only integrity that's defined. Like, I don't want to be viewed as the moral, upstanding motherfucker who rose above the opposition that was trying to kill him. I don't want to die a martyr. Let me die a legend. That's why we represent the niggas like Larry Davis. Before you let the cracks kill him, he just ain't sprayed it. Ooh, you feel what I'm saying? Like everybody want to be Black Panthers, Huey. It's till it's time to have the integrity of Huey. Till it's time to have the integrity of the Fred Hamptons. Till it's time to have the integrity of the Larry Davises. You feel me? When it's time to have that integrity, ain't nobody like. That's when it's pride. That's when it can become pride, and it's like, nah, I'm not. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that shit because, nah, man, that's like, nah. You start foot shuffling, scratching your head and shit. You feel me? That's why I stay low key about a lot of shit that I do because I already know the outcome of what's supposed to be for me if I move a certain way, and I can't compromise my integrity on that shit. I die for what I stand on before I live for what I don't. Because you feel what I'm saying? What does that do for you? Living for what you don't stand on. You feel me? This is why you have motherfuckers that got to come out and do the apologies and shit. And you feel me? I remember when they got Kevin Hart and they banned him from the Grammys and shit because they dug up some tweets that he made like 10 years prior and made him apologize for the shit. This moment, I fucked with Kevin for this because he said, I'm not apologizing. Like, it was 10 years ago. The fuck am I going to apologize for? If you don't want me to host, fuck it, I won't host. I fucks with him for standing on that. Like, he maintained his integrity, yo. He stood on that shit. But do you do it consistently? Not just because it's like, okay, you can just like, nah, like, you feel me? This is a part of like emasculation. I'm glad this is a so real conversation because this is a part of emasculation. They put you in a situation where you got to either compromise your integrity or swallow your pride, which is one and the same. But you're gonna either compromise your integrity or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is one of the reasons why I talk about how as Black people, we need to start developing wealth by fulfilling needs. We got to stop entertaining because entertainment is how cancel culture works. You can't cancel a motherfucker who's uncancelable. You can only cancel entertainers. Cancel, not counsel. You can only cancel entertainers. If your wealth is built by entertainment, that's the only reason why you can cancel me. The fuck, like, you feel me? I'm just a regular motherfucker on social media platforms and shit. Like, I don't view myself that like, nigga, what the fuck is 7,000 people? Nigga, only a good 50 of y'all fuck with me. You feel me? But in that, it's like motherfuckers are I gotta stop fucking with you because you don't support this. Because I'm Black first, not second, nigga. The fuck? I don't give a fuck about none of the other shit. I don't give a fuck about people's choices. I didn't choose to be Black. Well, yes, I did spiritually. But being Black wasn't something that I had to learn how to do. Being Black isn't something I was traumatized in. Being Black isn't something that you know what I'm saying? Being Black is how I was born. I came out the womb Black. I can't change that shit. I wasn't born a Christian. I wasn't born a Muslim. I wasn't born any of these things. I was indoctrinated into them. Society made me a certain way. I wasn't born a thug. I wasn't born a gangster. I wasn't born these things. I was born Black in a circumstance or environment that led to that. So all this other shit is goofy to me. If it don't fit, it don't fit. I had a motherfucker tell me, oh, I thought you was one of the woke ones. Because I told him, because I said, yo, Biden siding this trans women playing sports shit is bullshit. I don't give a fuck if you gotta unfollow me or unblock me. Like, the fuck, like, what does that mean for me? You feel me? Y'all niggas ain't punking shit over here. And then now look, the Olympics, the two motherfuckers, the nigga that just won the gold is the first trans woman to win. You feel me? So you a strong ass woman, but you was a weak ass man. So you couldn't even compete with the men. And then the two women that they beat out, two Samoan women and shit, like you could see the look on their faces like, damn, we just got, yes, women are getting erased. Now we're going to tie this back into the integrity piece too, because now it's like you say support Black women. You say protect Black women, right? You say protect Black women, but at the same time, you want me to acknowledge that trans women are women? Where's the protection in the black woman for that? Your integrity's on the line. Your integrity's on the line. Or you're going to let your pride get in the way. That's what they're telling you now. You feel me? Oh, that's your pride. That's pride because if they want to be called women, they're not women, though. I'm not dealing with that delusion. Fuck what you talking about. They're niggas, bro. Simple and plain. I don't give a fuck how much they're not real. Like, trans is artificial. The word trans means artificial. Trans fats, artificial fats. You feel what I'm saying? What do you like? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. In the science community, when they put the word trans with something, it means artificial, man-made. If that's not the biggest mindfuck of words, I don't know what it is. Trans women are real women. You just told me the artificial is real. So what the fuck is real? You feel what I'm saying? But are you going to maintain your integrity and stand on that shit? It don't take you nothing to say it. It does take me something to say it. It takes my integrity. That's not pride. That's not pride. That's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you just got to accept them as they are. They didn't even accept themselves as they were. They were born men. Now, I'm wrong for that. Okay. But then motherfuckers want to cancel people. You feel me? You get canceled when you stand on your integrity. When you maintain your, like, the whole shit. I don't even know what the fuck is going on, but I just keep seeing it on feeds. I keep seeing it on social media, whatever the fuck happened with the baby. Like, the fuck he say or whatever he said, something about, I don't know. But now motherfuckers talking about he got canceled. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, bro. Everybody like, oh, damn, you can't say certain shit. And he ain't apologized. I can always tell a motherfucker who's really built for some shit. And it's like, my thing is just like, yo, we can talk about, like, where's your integrity at? I feel like just keep that same motherfucking energy. If you can rap about killing niggas, if you can rap about, you know what I'm saying, hiding their babies and shit and houses and all that shit, then when it comes to standing on other shit, like, yo, you should be able to stand on it too. You feel me? I could easily say I can kill a nigga faster than I can say a trans woman is a woman. Like, you think, get that shit. Like, nobody gives a fuck if I say I will kill 8 niggas today, go shoot, drive by, ride up, shoot up the house, hit the babies, pum, 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 all of that shit. But if I say trans women are not real women, everybody wants to get up in arms. Fuck that. I'm black first, nigga. You dig what I'm saying? I'm black first, not second. Therefore, I don't have to put myself in a position where I have to speak and change and compromise my integrity for some shit. You feel me? It's like, yo, like, your lifestyle ain't got shit to do with me. So why the fuck do I gotta acknowledge it in my world? It's not a reality in my world. It's just not. But you want me to make it a reality in my world? No, it don't work. Shit don't work like that. It don't work like that. But I'm tying that back in because now, when it comes to our integrity as men, as black men, we have to stop compromising it. You feel me? Cooning for stupid shit. Shucking and jiving for the entertaining factor. It's like, yo, they've conditioned black people so much to be entertainers that we feel like that's our only form of wealth. You feel what I'm saying? All we got is sports and entertainment. When they decide, okay, we don't want you to, like, you have to entertain us the way we want to be entertained. You dig what I mean? You have to entertain us the way we want to be entertained. And if you can't entertain us the way we want to be entertained, like, as black people, we just need to look at it and say, yo, we're the entertainment. And yet we don't control entertainment. We don't own the teams. We don't own the outlets. We don't own the music industry. We don't own any of this shit. You feel me? We're just the entertainers. And speaking of entertainers, I want to give a quick shout out because, you know, Rihanna just crossed the billionaire status as well. And here's one thing that I really want to say. First, you know, I'm not taking away from her shit. Beyonce, I'm not in the Beyonce. Rihanna, she did a thing. She's a billionaire now. Congrats. Do your fucking thing. But let's not overlook Jay for a second, because he may have his moments, he may do whatever he does, where people say whatever, but Jay once quoted, "Everybody around me rich or will be. Baby boy, I promise you this, or kill me." A lot of the motherfuckers that have been affiliated with Jay-Z for like long periods of time, they're crossing billionaire status. Him, Beyonce, Kanye, Rihanna, they cross billionaire status fucking with him. Now, I'm not gonna say it was fucking with him, but there's a common factor between these people, and they're all billionaires. You dig what I mean? Whether they still rock together or not, the seeds were planted. You feel what I'm saying? The seeds were planted. And outside of the entertainment, he helped them push beyond entertainment and got them into fulfilling needs. When we talk about closing the wealth gap, I'm not going to talk a lot about this because this will create a whole new podcast episode. But when we talk about closing the wealth gap, all we have to understand as Black people is that we can't entertain. We have to fulfill a need. When we learn to fulfill a need, then we won't have to worry about entertainment. We won't have to worry about compromising our integrity. We don't have to worry about being Black second. You know what it's like to be Black second when you're really Black first? You get yourself in a situation where you have to, like, I remember when I was in undergrad, I was in a master's program. This wasn't undergrad, but dude, the teacher looked at me in my face and said the Black Panther Party was like, I had a moment to swallow my pride and let him say what he said. Or I had a moment to stand on my integrity. I stood on my integrity, bro. I didn't get kicked out or anything for that, but you feel what I'm saying? One thing that I always do is say what I got to say. You feel what I'm saying? I got to say what I got to say, and it don't matter. Like, it's not pride, yo. It's integrity. Integrity comes with morals. It comes with standards. It comes like pride is just pride is a selfish illusion. Here's where I'm gonna get the difference between the two. Pride is selfish. Pride is about the self. Integrity is about something so much bigger than that. They appear to be the same because it's the refusal or admittance of doing something, but it's different. When you see the bigger picture of things and you choose not to, that's integrity. When it's all about yourself, that's pride. When it's like, I don't give a fuck about this, I got to do X, Y, and Z. The bigger picture for me is what's always there. The bigger picture. You feel me? When I was talking about the reason why I didn't join the gangbang, because I looked at the bigger picture. I knew I would have killed the motherfucker. Ain't no ifs, ands, or maybes about it. I would have shot me a nigga too. Or I would have been shot. You feel what I mean? Because it was bigger than me. It was, you not going to disrespect what I'm affiliated with. You not going to disrespect what I stand on. You feel what I mean? You just not going to do it. It wasn't about me as a person. It was about what I was affiliated with. It was about what was bigger than me. Every moment when I had to face integrity versus pride, I knew that it was always something bigger. Where motherfuckers, oh, that's just pride. It's not pride, it's integrity. Integrity is always seeing the bigger picture. It's always, what will I do right now that will have the lasting reverberating effect on anything outside of myself? Pride is looking at that very same thing and saying, I don't give a fuck about the lasting effect it has on anything else because this is about myself. This is why motherfuckers can swallow their pride. And this is also why motherfuckers don't compromise their integrity. If you understand the dynamic between the two, if you understand the reality between these two positions, you realize that it's always going to be the bigger picture. You feel what I'm saying? The motherfuckers who are now suddenly, okay, I started off, this way, and now because they were never looking for the bigger picture. They were looking for the self-aggrandizement, whatever that word is. I said it right. Aggrandizement. The vindication of the self. That's what they were looking for. They were looking to embellish themselves, and they were using their people to do it. You feel what I'm saying? So when the time came, fuck Black people, bro. Y'all don't support me. Y'all don't do this and anything like blah, 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 blah. You feel me? This is one of the reasons why I made sure I put myself in a position to not have to rely on the money of my people to do what I need to do. If I don't sell another course, if I don't sell another book, you feel me? If I don't make another cent off of a podcast, spends nothing. If I don't do none of that, it's not contingent upon my people. It's not contingent upon people listening to me. If I don't sell another pair of shades, if I don't sell any more merch, it's not contingent upon me getting that. Because I'm still trading, I'm still investing, I'm still doing things that solely can fund me to be able to do what I want to do for my people without having to work. Because I know where my people stand. That's where the integrity comes in. I know where my people stand in reality to this world. I know where they like. I know the shit the hurdles I got to get over to get them to connect with me. I know all of this shit. My pride is not, and it's not pride that I fuck with my people. It's the integrity that I fuck with my people because I know our circumstance. I know that I got to get over hurdles to make you trust me. I know I got to get over certain things to make, like I know it's a whole lot of layers of shit that I can get before I can even get you to fuck with me. So I don't need to be waiting on you to fuck with me. You feel what I'm saying? Integrity sees the bigger picture. You feel me? I'm not mad at motherfuckers who don't read So Frail. I don't get mad at motherfuckers who don't listen to the So Frail conversation. I'm not in that space to get mad at motherfuckers like that. The fuck I'm gonna get mad at you for if I wasn't doing this for myself? You feel what I mean? It's the bigger picture. The integrity is about the bigger picture. You feel me? Does the bigger picture really matter to you? Does it really matter to you? Because if it doesn't matter to you, you'll compromise your pride. You'll compromise your integrity. And in compromising your integrity, you say, I ain't about to be prideful.
And don't forget to take a moment to go get your exclusive merchandise from Just Scenes merch. At Just Scenes, each piece is specifically crafted with positive imagery and symbolism. From the titles and designs to the descriptions, each style gives you something to feel great about. With everything from hoodies and tees to coffee mugs and tote bags, we have something for the entire family. So be sure to get yours today. Find us on Instagram at Just Scenes merch and get your merchandise right now.
All right, I'm going to end it there. I know this one went down a crazy rabbit hole. I ain't even going to hold you, yo. Because this shit was initiated because the motherfucker stole some shit. And you feel me? I was like, yo, motherfucker ain't got integrity. But then it went down so much deeper. But it ties into a So Frail conversation because as black men, I want us to understand that, yo, we got to stop compromising our integrity as a collective. You feel me? We got to stop telling ladies to think like men, act like ladies, but think like men and not tell men to be better. You feel me? We got to stop saying shit like, you feel me? I'm not my full masculine self until a woman brings it out of me. Bitch made ass motherfucker. No. Either you like to say that shit means that you're not like your masculinity is tainted. You flawed, bro. You're not even you're not masculine, bro. It's not something that you turn on and turn off in the presence of a woman. You got it and the women come to you. This is why we be fucking our women up. And it's like, this is where the integrity piece comes in. Nigga, we doing that shit for the sale, which is prideful. You dig what I'm saying? You can't compromise your integrity when you see the bigger picture. The bigger picture of life. You dig what I'm saying? It's the bigger picture of life, the bigger picture of reality, the bigger picture of the essence that we involved ourselves with. You feel me? What are we gonna do when it's all said and done? When you leave this earth, when niggas be able to say, or motherfuckers, will they be able to say that you've been you the whole time? Will they? Or will they say, okay, you got to your point and it was just a matter of time? You feel what I'm saying? Now, this is not to say don't elevate. This is not to say don't grow. Because you can grow and you can transform and you can evolve at different levels and still be the same. Perfect example is Pokemon, bro. You feel me? Charmander will always be a fire lizard. When Charmander reaches a certain level, it evolves into a Charmeleon, still a fire lizard. When it reaches a certain level, it evolves into a Charizard, still a fire lizard. You feel me? Of some type. Well, I'm gonna say a fire reptile because it's a salamander, then it's a chameleon, and then it's a lizard. So it's Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. You feel me? Same with Squirtle, War Turtle, and Blastoise. They're all tortoises, but they're fucking turtles. They stay the same as a turtle, but they evolve over time. Motherfuckers is like Digimon, though. You feel me? They change for the need, and then they change back to who they were. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want it to get caught up in saying, oh, by maintaining your integrity, you say stuck where you are. No, I'm not saying that. No, fuck no. Don't stay stuck, broken, ashy. No. Maintaining your integrity does not mean that you don't have to level up. Does not mean that people aren't going to disappear out your space. Does not mean that you're not going to shed people. You're going to lose a lot of motherfuckers. Maintaining your integrity and growing at the same time. That's what people don't look at. Maintaining your integrity and growing at the same time, you lose a lot of motherfuckers. Family, friends, it don't matter. You lose motherfuckers and you gain motherfuckers too. That's what life is about. It's a cyclic motion. You feel me? It's a cyclic motion. You rise and you fall. You gain, you grow. You know what I'm saying? It's little things like that that are connected over the grand scheme of the time frames in which we process ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? Your integrity needs to be in conjunction with your growth. Your growth and your development to see the bigger picture. You feel me? Motherfuckers I was fucking with 5 years ago, they ain't nowhere in the picture right now. You dig what I mean? Did I change? Yeah. But I stayed the same. And that is what evolution is about. You feel what I'm saying? The growth in which I developed, the growth in which I maintain, I'm still me. But I'm not me. I'm not that person anymore. So it's like, if you're still that person, I can't fuck with you. Oh, see, you done got brand new. No. Integrity means that I got to stay still true to myself and see the bigger picture, the reality that I'm in. Pride is me saying I can stay in this particular space and let my ego get involved and still fuck with the motherfuckers who have no viability in my life no more. The fuck? There's people that I started my entrepreneurship journey on right now who are still in the same space they were when we both started together. I can't fuck with them no more. Not in the strength that, oh, nah, they failed and they this, that, and the third. No, we're at different levels now. I grew and I still got to maintain the integrity of myself. It requires me to maintain my process, which means I cannot deal with somebody who's not in that same space anymore. You feel what I mean? But integrity, like I said, it's about seeing the bigger picture and sticking to that. You feel me? Pride is about focusing on the self and saying fuck everybody else. This whole vaccine shit, this is a battle of people who are prideful and those who have integrity. They trying to guilt you into some shit. Oh, think about the other people. If I was really thinking about, like, I am thinking about the other people. That's why I won't get the shit. The pride of it all is, I'm gonna get it so I can go travel and I can be this. Yeah, you sound good saying that you're doing it just so we can open back up and get so you can get back to what the fuck you were doing. My integrity won't let me get the shit. And it encourages people not to get the motherfucker either, because it's like, yo, they don't know what the fuck they doing with the shit. They're killing people. This is genocide, yo. This is worse than the gas chambers with the Jewish people. But don't nothing compare to Ma'afa. Don't get me wrong. Don't nothing compare to Ma'afa. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm just talking about in modern times, in most recent times. It's the gas chambers. Literally. Motherfuckers convinced that this is the right thing to do. Feel me? Motherfuckers, oh, I couldn't live during Nazi Germany. I wouldn't be. You're in it now. Motherfucker. You're in it now. You feel me? But the integrity comes in because it's, man, this is what we gotta stand on. Women's supposed to have integrity too, but guess what? This is So Frail Conversations. This is about us. Maintain your integrity and stand on what you stand on. You feel me? And motherfuckers want to be pro-black second. You feel me? And be whatever affiliation you are first. And then it's when shit hits the fan, then you want to remember you black. Nah, nigga, stay where you at. Stay home. Stay in your first house, bro. Remember, you put this to the back burner. You put being black second. Ain't no honor in that. Ain't no integrity in that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you talk shit to white people. Yeah, you do like you. It looks good on paper. You feel me? But you still black second. Does that count? When you're born black, does being black second really count? You feel me? Your integrity has to kick in with that shit. Honestly, that's what it is. It's crazy how this entire episode derived from the integrity of a single individual. You feel me? But it's like, what's the bigger picture of what you're looking for? You gotta ask yourself that when it comes to your integrity. You feel me? And this is how you know you're gonna maintain it. Are you in it for the bigger picture? Or are you in it for yourself? If you're in it for yourself, you'll compromise. You'll fold. I don't give a fuck. You feel me? When you're in it for the bigger picture, and when you're in it for the bigger picture, you're less likely to compromise. And the bigger your picture is, the harder it is to make you compromise your shit. You dig what I mean? Certain things I just can't do. You feel me? Like down to little finite shit. Like I down to relationships, all kind of shit. Like I would certain shit, I just would not compromise with them myself. You know, I was asked would I be with a religious woman? I can't, because not only am I not compromising myself, I wouldn't want her to do the same. But I can't go back to an old way of thinking. I can't just erase what I know and then comfortably let her sit in that. No, you feel me? Certain shit just don't. It don't. Like there's certain things that you just can't do. Like yo, that's on them. That's not on me. Nah, integrity is seeing the bigger picture and making sure you honor that shit. Continually to see the bigger picture and make sure you don't compromise on your mission and your quest to see your bigger picture coming to fruition. Now, if your bigger picture is just all about yourself, pride is in the way. And your pride will be compromised. You will have to eventually swallow it. You feel me? You start off as a comedian, end up wearing dresses. You feel me? To where now it's so like all black comedians just they wear wigs and shit. Like all of the social media niggas is funny acting like women. Where they acting like a teacher, they acting like it's acting like a woman. How come none of these men can I've only seen one man impersonate a man in joke, and that was that Reggie Coss, I think that's his name. Like he imitated his pops. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody else imitating Ratchet Black. Like instant. I don't want to say I'm a prophet. I don't want to say that, but I am. A prophet is one who can analyze the past, analyze the past, understand the present, and predict the future. When I wrote So Frail 1, this shit wasn't moving the way it is. Now everybody got a wig on. Everybody doing this. I spoke on this shit in So Frail 1 in the chapter called Oh My Goodness. You feel what I mean? So Frail, like a lot of the shit that I be saying is coming into reality. Wait till So Frail 3 comes out. That's a whole reality y'all ain't never gonna be ready for. Because when you see the shit playing out in the future tense, it's gonna be like, oh shit. You feel me? I ain't misstepped yet. You feel me? But in that too, this is one of the reasons it's So Frail Conversation, all is developing. My integrity for this and what maintains it is like, I'm still going on. I'm still going forward with it. My integrity is for the bigger picture of everything. Everybody that has something to say about So Frail has yet to say it. And what I mean by that is I've had motherfuckers hit me up on some, yo, I want to hold a mirror up to this book and blah, blah, blah. It's dudes telling me this shit because we need to see that. I'm like, all right, cool. Hit me up whenever you're ready. Let me know what's up. Because you can't say, the only thing you can say is you don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. You feel me? The religious people, they get mad, but they know I'm right. They tight, but they know I'm right. And they're like, yo, why you still standing on that shit? Because my integrity allows me to. I can't say that we've been in this position for 400 years and we've honored this religion for 400 years and our circumstances haven't changed. Something's wrong with it. And I stand on that shit. I stand on everything I say for the bigger picture of what it is. It ain't pride. It ain't ego. It ain't none of that shit. It's integrity. They want you to feel like it's pride. They want you to feel like it's ego so you can change your reality and shift your. No, it's integrity. Maintain your integrity at all costs. Fuck them people. You feel me? But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This was a pretty good episode. Yeah, I ain't got much else to say about that shit. That's integrity, man. Stand on it, please. You know, stand on it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. Let's go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables and teach them what to stand for. Teach them integrity. Teach them integrity early, man. Teach them integrity early. You know, simple phrase. When you find something worth dying for, live for it. That's where your integrity will be found. But if you find something that you're willing to die for and you try to die for it, pride will come in because you don't want to die. Find something worth dying for and live for it. And your integrity will always be intact. Because you're going to stay alive for it. You feel what I mean? Live for something. Don't die for anything. You feel me? And teach the babies that. Let the babies know that it's okay to do that and to honor that. You know? So yeah, I'm done there. Go kiss your babies and make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.